How's it going, Noel? Yes. Who else hates the dentist? Yeah. Okay, thank God. It sucks, right? Well, if you didn't raise your hand, you've either been extremely lucky, or I may just need to jog your memory. Think back on it all. That one time a dentist scraped your gums during the cleaning, that horrible taste of fluoride that sticks in your mind, or that stays in your mouth for hours after a cleaning. Worst of all, you can't eat for a little while after, which worse for some than others. The horrible experience of getting your wisdom teeth removed or a root canal, they all stick in your mind. Even that distinct dentist smell of latex, cleaning supplies, and toothpaste. It's just a constant reminder of all the discomfort. And no, you don't get used to it. No one looks forward to the dentist. When I would talk to someone and ask them what they were about to do with the rest of their day, most of them would just say, I'm excited to get out of here. Which is fair. Now, what's an inconvenience and a little bit of relived trauma for someone our age is a battle of an experience for a child. Hi, my name is Ned Marshall, and I spent my SLE working in the pediatric sector of a dentist's office, where my day started and ended with the screams of terrified kids. There's a gross misunderstanding of fear that I think needs to be dealt with. To be told, it'll be over soon, just don't think about it, or just grip the seat, will never work. You can ignore fear, but that's not overcoming fear. And then it's only a matter of time before it blows up on you. Kids have already walked into the office and decided on how it'll go. Nervous, upset, anxious, or totally closed off before giving us or the appointment a fair judgment. Does that sound like something we all do? The dentist I worked with would always say how little dentistry was actually his job. 90% of it, he said, was just getting the kid in the chair and comfortable, which is easier said than done. Fear is a natural response. You're hardwired to fight to stay within your comfort zone. It's what keeps you safe. The hard thing is that sometimes your brain struggles to tell the difference between standing on the edge of a cliff and a small metal mirror in your mouth. Understanding that difference is even harder for some kids than others. I'd walk into the waiting room and already some little girl is cowering behind her dad's leg. I'd walk in with the dentist only being able to open the door a crack for fear that some terrified kid is going to bolt. I was walking with one kid, and as we were all walking, all I hear behind me is a little thump. I turn around, and there he is, sprawled out in the middle of the hallway. He'd become so overwhelmed with the fear of it all, he just had to take a second, recollect himself, and relax. Yeah. As we all know, fear can be a real barrier. It can absorb your thoughts and evade its way into your life. So how do we overcome it? The reality is the solution is so much simpler than we all think, yet it is so difficult for a lot of us to enact in our day-to-day lives. There was a girl we were supposed to pull a tooth for. It was just hanging on by a thread. It was supposed to be really simple. As soon as we walked in that door, we could tell it wouldn't be. She was curled up in a ball, crying and screaming, and she couldn't even look our way. As the dentist sat down, he never pressured her to pull the tooth. He just talked to her. Not about pain, not about teeth, not about blood. He talked to her about fears she'd overcome in the past and how brave she'd been. As we talked to her, we started to realize her fear wasn't of getting her tooth pulled, it was of the dentist. So we had to give her the power. We came to a compromise. The dentist placed the tool on her tooth, she grabbed it, and the dentist guided her hand as she pulled her own tooth. The relief on her face was instant. It's like she could finally breathe again. A fear like this, as many of us know, leaves a weight on your chest for a long time running up to it. All the dentist said as we walked out was, now you've proven you're stronger than your fear. Fear doesn't go away all at once. It needs to be persistently chipped away at through small victories. The girl who pulled her own tooth didn't completely change her mindset. In the back of her mind, the fear is still there. But the next moment, she's anxious or scared or overwhelmed. She has that moment to think back on where she proved to herself she can do more than she thought. I know everyone has fears, and some of them are rightfully there. But I think if you all take a moment and reflect back on the effect that fear has had on your life, I doubt most of you will be thinking, phew, dodged a lot of bullets there. Most of you might be thinking back with regret. Disappointed that you were so scared of failure you missed out on opportunities. Too scared of rejection you miss out on a friendship. So overwhelmed with change you stay stuck exactly where you are. Fear is vital for life, but unrestricted can so quickly limit the value of the gift that life has given you. You have choices every day. Choices where you can listen to the part of your brain that isn't really on your side, or choices where you can prove to yourself you are stronger than your fears. I'm going to remind you, you have one life, one chance to have these experiences, be with these people, pursue these passions, everything that gives life value. But you have to fight for it. Don't stay in your comfort zone. Your comfort zone's known. It's already been conquered. At this point, it's just limiting you. So I want to challenge you. Every day, whatever you can do, whether this is dancing outside of your comfort zone or throwing yourself out there and abandoning it completely, do it. Fight for those small, consistent victories, because those are the steps that will give you the life that you want, the life that you deserve. So please, pull that tooth. Otherwise, you might regret it. Thank you.